Okay, everybody. Well, we want to welcome you to this training session. First of all, thank you and congratulations to all of you who was able to attend or even have guests that attended a pre-lunch in Kenya. And one thing that Tammy and I have had much experience into is to support international organizations. And what we want to do in the session this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are. If you happen to be in Kenya, it's past 8. If you happen to be in Ghana, it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If you happen to be in Daytona Beach, Florida with Tammy and I, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's just wonderful to deal with the international market with all the different time zones. And the purpose of this evening, this call or this session, it's really to introduce some of the leadership that Tammy and I have an enormous amount of respect for. And by the way, this call is recorded, so you'll be able to share that information with your teams. And one of the things that's really important for associates, especially brand new people, especially in an international market, is to know who they are dealing with. And the leadership that we'll be sharing here this afternoon or this evening are some of the most powerful, some of the most experienced in the leadership that have achieved great things with Max International. I won't deny the fact that we're all facing the challenges of the pandemic and everything else, but these are incredible leaders. They know what they're doing, and they're wonderful, wonderful leaders. And some of you may not have met them yet, right? Maybe you've been to the event, you met Tammy and I, you've met other leaders. And I think to start the event would be really important for you to hear from some of them. And I know there might be more that have associates in Kenya. And we'll have other calls to follow up on this session. But these are the people that I believe had guests in a pre-launch that we attended, Tammy and I, this past few weeks, right? It's going so fast. Any words, Tammy, you want to share before I introduce the first speaker?
No, I'm really excited about the market in Nairobi specifically. That's where we were for the event. We see a lot of potential in this market, just connecting with people, even before we were at the event, just when we were in the mall, when we were at the gym, and people are really, really open for opportunity. So now's the time to really tap into this market. You can do it through social media. I know that we've been doing it through social media, built relationships. So by the time we got there, then our guests showed up. And that's really, really important. Relationship building, we cannot stress that enough if you want people to show up. And of course, when you're physically there, they get to meet you. They feel your passion and your conviction of Max International. And we had our guests that we physically met there show up as well. So if you are going to build this market, you definitely want to show up into the Kenya market. So you're going to have to work that in your scheduling, in your budget, because it's worth the time that you'll be there. I was telling Chris when we were flying back, I really wish we would have had another week or 2 weeks there. Yeah. So we do have to plan that to go back because it huge potential.
Absolutely.
We're really excited.
Absolutely. So I want to keep this call to the point and short. So we're going to start from the flyer that was presented to you as you were logging in the session, from the left to right, from left to right. And many of the associates you're going to hear from are Diamond Associates, and we have some Platinum Associates. I'll introduce them to you. I'd like to start with Dr. Parker. Dr. Parker is an incredible leader with a lot of integrity, very knowledgeable, a phenomenal presenter. He's also a Diamond Associate with Max International. So Dr. Parker, if you want to go ahead and just kind of take the floor and introduce yourself, maybe a minute or two to share with the audience who you are and your experience with Max International.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for this call. And I'm happy for all the Kenyan associates who are already privileged to have heard about Max International at this hour. I mean, it's a big advantage to be part of the business, even at the launch. All right. Some of us in Ghana never heard about Max International till so many months after it was in Ghana. But if you are in Kenya, you find yourself here, you are really, really privileged. You have a big opportunity to impact so many lives. My name is Dr. Pacquiao. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yes, loud and clear. You're good.
My name is Dr. Pacquiao. I'm a gynecologist specialist in Ghana. I'm a Diamond Associate of Max International as well. My wife and I joined Max, I think November 2014. I think some month after it's been launched. And it's been a blessing to us. It's been the best decision we took in our lives. We've had the opportunity to touch so many lives, meet so many people, impact so many lives as we've gone through our Max journey. And of course, we've also had the privilege of living some of our dreams, traveling the world as Diamond Associate to Peru, to Sun City, to Maldives, and to Kenya as well. For you in Kenya, you should know that we came to Kenya sometime in 2018. We all had the privilege of having skydiving at Mombasa. We've been to Dubai as well. And this is some of the benefits we've derived from joining Max International. I remember when we joined, and I'm sure most of you are going to have the same challenges. A lot of my colleague medical doctors discouraged me. They gave me all the reasons why this business is not going to last past 1 year in Ghana. There's so many companies have come like that. You know, there's no way this company is going to last long. I mean, it's just a waste of time. I mean, some of them were convincing, all right? But what really puts me on my toes and kept me focused was I started reading books early about network marketing. Before I joined Max International, I had no idea about network marketing. I didn't know what it was about, but I started reading books about network marketing, and it increased my belief in this industry, all right? And that is what made me stay focused. So I want to encourage you. This is something new, or even if you've had an experience with another company before, one thing Max prides itself in is training and personal development, all right? So the leaders would always introduce books to you, read them, books will change your life. It's a book that made me stay in Max. I remember my first year of in network marketing. That is the book I read. And I noticed that all the challenges I was facing within my first few months in this business, other top earners, millionaires in this business had faced that challenge. And we were reading books they had written. All right. And it really changed my mindset. And that's why I'm here. So one encouragement I'll give you, one very good advice is just read books, be willing to learn, and we'd all go far together. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, for this opportunity. I give you back the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. Really appreciate your wisdom and your knowledge. Damien, why don't we introduce the next speaker?
Sure. So we got a chance to really get to know them on this trip and spent some quality time together. And Jeffrey Aparagdina is a platinum associate with Max International, and his beautiful fiance, Apat. We had some quality time together. So Jeffrey's going to be sharing some insights with you on his passion in the Kenyan market as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris and Tammy. I hope all of you can hear me. I'm super excited to be on this call with all of you today. And it's Jeffrey Apegdina. And so I've been with Max International for 4 years, right? And it's been phenomenal. It's been a phenomenal experience. I heard about Max International in 2015. And, as usual, anytime you hear about something, usually like you think the best people that can validate some of the things you've seen other people, outside. And that's what I did in 2015. I went to people who were not in any way related to Max International, and I was asking them if you think this would work. And
Jeffrey, you froze. I'm not sure if it's the Wi-Fi or the internet. I'll give you a few more seconds to make sure you can come back. Something it goes up to 30 seconds.
Yeah, we know you guys have had some storms going in your area, so it's possible that's the challenge right now.
Yeah, I know there are some storms, exactly as Temi is saying. So I know that some folks are having a bit of a hard time with other events that are taking place. Okay, so it'll come back. So let me confirm if Diabali, are you with us here today? If you're
Hello, Chris.
here. Oh, okay. Jeffrey, please go ahead. Take over.
Okay, so as I was saying, most of the times when we get exposed to businesses like this, we feel like people outside are the best people that can validate this, right? So in 2015, I didn't partner with Max International, but in 2017, while I was working with, the company I was with at the time, which is Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, I told myself, I need to see this opportunity again. And for the second time, when I saw this, I told myself, this is for me. At that point, I didn't need anybody, to validate it because I had seen it. I had seen the opportunity and I had seen a lot of testimonies and people benefiting greatly from this opportunity. And I told myself, I can do it, right? And since then, I can tell you for a fact that 2017 partnering with this company has been the best decision I made throughout the whole of 2017. Now, thinking about the fact that the company has been here for a while, has gone to Nigeria, has gone to Cote d'Ivoire, and has done a lot of great things there, I feel is going to be even more mind-blowing in Kenya because, Kenyans, are very, open-minded and all of that. And I feel like this is a great opportunity that, all of you have to take advantage of. And I'm glad that most of you are on board, and are excited to share this with the world, right? So definitely, Dr. Parker said it all. This is an exciting opportunity. Just be plugged in. That's the little I'm going to say. Keep yourself plugged in the sense that, the outside world is different, but everybody on here, who is part of this amazing opportunity is different as well. If you stay plugged in, you're going to keep learning. You're going to keep, hearing new things, new strategies that are always going to help you elevate yourself in this opportunity. So stay plugged in. Thank you very much, Chris and Tammy, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Really appreciate your leadership and conduct. Very professional. And I really appreciate all the things that you contribute, including with Dr. Parker. Thank you very much for sharing. So I'd like right now to shift over to, I believe Diabelli is not present and Sir Java is not present. So I'm going to step right into Dr. Pius. Dr. Pius is actually one of those veterans where when we first heard of network marketing opening up, or let me rephrase that, Max International opening up in Ghana, I've organized a conference call with Joe Wojtecki at the time, who has actually had the application on hand to apply to the Ghanaian government. It was really interesting because as I was calling, it was like meant to be. It was really interesting coincidence. Long story short, Dr. Pius was one of the original individuals that came into this conference call. There was about 6 leaders, and Dr. Pius was one of those leaders. And he's a Diamond Associate with Max International. He's been committed and very dedicated in building his business, supporting his team. I know he went to Kenya with some of his team members that are in Nigeria, which was Karis and Brian. And so, Dr. Pius, I'll turn the call over to you to share a few minutes, a little bit about you and your experience with Max. Did we lose him?
No, he's there.
No, you're there. Dr. Pius, you're muted in the event that you're sharing.
Oh, so sorry. Thank you.
Hi.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris and Tammy. So nice to be here. And thank you so much for your leadership. It's been a very good time working with you since that very first call. And your support has really been tremendous. Even at a time where I had a little distraction. Thank you so much for being there. And then, so all of the Kenya associates who are here, I really want to welcome you into Max International and to let you know this is a very, very great opportunity. And in the East African coast where Max is launching now, it's really amazing. The market is so huge. And even the plan of the company is even much more broader than it was when it came to West Africa. In Kenya now, you have the opportunity to build at the same time in all of the East African bloc, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, Rwanda. It's so amazing, as opposed to when it started here in West Africa, moving from Ghana to Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire. It was a slow pace, but now the Max plan for East Africa is so huge. And so I want to encourage all of you, and this is a very great opportunity that you have come into. The science of the product is very, very solid. That is one of the important things that got me into Max in the very first place. When my friend sent me the website and I had to go through the science and the pedigree of Professor Herbert Nagasawa, Professor Robert Keller, who were those who, pioneered this glutathione enhancing, supplement. And so that got me intrigued, and that's how I got into Max. And it's been a very wonderful experience since then. And the one thing I want to say, which is what I learned from Chris and Tammy, there's this illustration he used to give those days, that success loves speed. and that's what you need to look at now in a situation like, for example, if you take, like, you want to go from one location to the other and you want to use the airplane, and the airplane usually we have to go with speed while tasking on the runway, and then it takes off. But if, assuming that airplane is just going gently, it doesn't build any momentum to take off. It's just going to move around the airport, and it's not going to be able to get to its destination. And so with this opportunity you have seen in Max, there is a destination of financial freedom that you want to get to, of, health benefits you want to share around. So you need to build that momentum, that speed. This period that you've come to see the business is the time that you carry that excitement, that enthusiasm, to spread it to other people. When they see that excitement and enthusiasm in you, it attracts and motivates them to look into what you are sharing. And that is how you can build your team very, very quickly, And so that's what I would like to share at this point in time. Thank you so much, Chris and Tammy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pius. Really appreciate your time and leadership. And that was a really great analogy of momentum, because you're right. Absolutely correct. Momentum loves speed. And if you want to get your plane to take off, you need some momentum. If you just keep stopping, the plane will never take off. So great analogy. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Emmanuel. Emmanuel is a Gold Associate with Max International, very, very committed to his team and his organization and his business. Emmanuel, I want to thank you for joining in here today. So please go ahead and share a few minutes about yourself and your views about Max International.
Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate this opportunity. Max morning to everyone. Max Jumbo to Max Kenya Associate. It's an amazing time here. All right, so quick one. I joined Max International in 2017 when I just finished the university. And all through the university, I got somebody who was telling me about this Max opportunity. But I was actually a bit skeptical about the whole thing. I've never done any network marketing thing. So I took my time to actually review the opportunity. When I did, I actually got started. When I got my first consignment of product, I sent one box of the product, that's LGBT, to my mom. At the time, my mom has issues with hypertension. So 1 month into it, the BP started normalizing. And that's what, caught the attention of everybody around me. Everybody who knew my mother had hypertension. So that was the story I actually, started sharing with other people who I knew at a point in time their parents had one health issue or the other. So that's what got me started in Max International. Now, to any associate in Max International, be it in Kenya or any other country, there's one recommendation I want to make and that is to actually be consistent. You have to be consistent. Why am I saying this? If you take a case scenario like, popping a popcorn in a microwave, right? You have to keep consistent supply of electricity to that microwave to get the popcorn popped. Or perhaps you want to cook an egg. You have to supply, heat to that water to boil to 100 degrees to get that egg cooked very well. Truth be told, if you supply heat to a certain level, withdraw and supply another heat at a certain level, withdraw. In fact, it's going to take decades to have one egg cooked for you properly. So all that I want to say is that now that you have started your journey with Max International, be consistent, get yourself plugged into the system, get a mentor to show you the way through the business. Don't feel like you know it all through. Don't feel like you have done network marketing before, and for that matter, you can actually make your way through this business also. No, getting a mentor can actually help you avoid a lot of mistakes in this business. And that's what happened to me. Be consistent and get a mentor to work with. I so much love this Max family. In fact, the person I've become by joining Max International, it's something I can never, overlook. It's an amazing family here. The personal development, the family belongingness, and it's so amazing. Chris, thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's an absolute pleasure, Emmanuel. And Tammy and I are so excited to work with you, and we admire your leadership. And there's so much that we're going to be talking and sharing with you on some of the protocol to support an international team. As a matter of fact, Emmanuel, you were touching on the popcorn analogy. And this popcorn analogy is really, really, really important, because you see, if you put popcorn in a microwave, right? And, especially in a microwave, everybody's very impatient, right? You press the button and Jesus, we're not hearing any sound. There's no popping going on. And then, an entire minute's going by, and a minute, 10 seconds, minute, 15 seconds, nothing's happening. But it's going like it's an analogy of us working, right? I'm working. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. Nobody's changing. Nobody's signing up. This is because you're warming up. You're setting the ground. But if you stick long enough and you stay the course, then eventually you'll hear a pop. And then you'll hear pop, pop. And then you hear pop, pop, pop. And then 30 seconds later, this is when the momentum hits. But if you stop heating the popcorn after a minute, 10 seconds, or even a minute, 12 seconds, you never got that first pop that got you into momentum. Mm-hmm. So you're reminding me of this analogy when you talk about the popcorn. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And you're absolutely dead on. So thank you all for sharing. And I also wanted to acknowledge Dr. Albert Sidoya, very modest. He's a double diamond in Max International. And I know, Dr. Albert, your picture was not here, but you know what? I really appreciate your wisdom. I know you can think on your feet. I'd love to hear from you, if you don't mind, for a minute or so. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Max Money family, Max Money. This was impromptu. I'm at the head office here in Ghana. My name is Albert Sedon. I've been with Max since 2014, September. And of course, Chris has been the one who saw something in us and has been holding our hand up to this point. Basically, most of the things have been said already. The shortcut in this business, which is already a shortcut, the business itself is already a shortcut. So the shortcut in the shortcut is to look for a mentor and be enthusiastic about the product, share with as many people as possible, use the product yourself, and be willing at any point in time to know more about the product, so that anywhere you are called upon, you can be able to share the excitement and the science-based facts about our product, the testimonies. I always tell my team members that are encouraging to do presentations that as long as you don't say that we have glutathione in our product, everything you're likely to say is right. So let's all learn to know the facts of our product, which product has what and what does it do, the combinations that work best for what condition, and work in teams, work as a team, have a mentor always accountable to, and there is success guaranteed you. The company is committed. East African Bloc, like our senior most Dr. Pius has said, has an opportunity that West Africa didn't have. You are going to have a streamlined operation. Uganda is going to be opening sooner, right after Kenya. And that wasn't what happened in Ghana. So you guys have an opportunity to expand at an ultrasonic speed. Thank you very much, all who are in Kenya as associates. Welcome to the family. Max Money.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Albert. Really appreciate you. And at the end of the day, folks, what's going on here is this is a call that is recorded and it will be available. And right now, there's 3 aspects we want to talk about. And it's not going to be long, but it's an orientation for all of you that are getting started and saying, okay, what's next? Well, the very first thing that's very important is communication. And every leaders have mentioned that. Stay plugged in, connect to the system, and have a mentor, have a group of people that you can plug into. This is exactly what this call is created. That was designed, is to create some culture around a new team that is formed from many of the associates around the globe, but specifically right now with the Ghana leadership, and this is who was invited here. But understand that everybody's welcome, because we're going to be doing these calls for all the different groups. Now, the point we want to talk about is communication. And one thing that's really, really important is make sure that if you have a team, if you're Ghanaian, for example, or Nigerian, and you have a team in Kenya, make sure that you have a specific group for your Kenya organization. Critical. So you constantly can pass on the information and not relying on some other leader to make sure that to feed your organization. Your team needs to see you feed the information that you can certainly pass on from other groups. Okay. Number one, that's very important. And stay plugged in with the WhatsApp groups that your leadership are putting into place. Really important. The other thing is Facebook groups, right? And Facebook pages. Make sure that you're aware of your leaders. See, I don't have all the answers, but the leaders that you are connected with that invited you to listen to this call, maybe after the fact, maybe you could be here today, but you're going to listen to the recording. Make sure that you follow their guidelines. Make sure you plug into their organization. Make sure you plug into their WhatsApp. Make sure you're connected together to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook group, Facebook personal page, so you can connect and follow each other. Because remember that these social environment, the social media environment, they are like your billboard of your life, of what's happening. Good, sometimes maybe not so good, right? Sometimes it's good to be straightforward and honest, but it's just to share some reality, not to share the negativity, but to share the reality of life. Because sometimes people that get started in business may feel a little bit discouraged just because they don't have the experience in dealing with the adversity of being in business, especially in the nature of the network marketing environment that we're in. Often people think that the product is the actual product. No, the people are the actual product. The product that we have, it's actually an asset. We just happen to have some of the most sophisticated nutraceutical supplement that exists in the world, backed up with some extremely powerful science. This is your gift. The opportunity, it's actually the vision, it's the future, it's what can be. And that's what we want to share with you here. So make sure that you stay in touch and you stay in communication with your organization. I know Tammy is big on that. If you want to say a few words before we move on to the tools.
Yeah. So what we do is obviously we create platforms when we sign up new people into the business. And I know that all the leadership are doing the same thing. So if you are new in the business, like Chris said, you need to plug into your leader and stay very close to them. They're going to be mentoring you in the whole process. There's going to be lots of communication going on in the platforms because there's a lot of events coming up. There's trainings, there's new onboarding trainings, there's, how to connect with people, the prospecting, inviting, the whole procedure of the training is there for you. So make sure you show up to the training. And of course, you want to take action on everything that you learn. So there's a lot for you to take in. And maybe at the beginning, it might be a lot, but you'll get it. And like I said, show up. There's business presentations as well that you want to show up regularly and bring guests. As we always say in our profession, if you show up, you learn. But if you show up with a guest, you learn. And of course, you earn, because the people that are checking this out are going to want to be part of this opportunity.
I totally agree, Tammy. So at this point here, what I'd like to do is to share some of the quick tools. Now, understand that what I'm sharing with you here is a tool that Tammy and I are maintaining. But understand that the leadership that was actually shared with you, and at the end of the presentation, Master, please stick around, because I know that Daya Bali is not here, and I wanted you to speak on his behalf, and also you being upline leader, I'd love for you to share in a minute. But I just want to finish the portion when it comes to the tools. Now, tools are absolutely critical. When it was mentioned to plug into the system, that is key. So let me show you what we use and how you can utilize some of the tools that are available to you. So I'm just sharing right now my cell phone. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay. Just make sure that it comes in. Sometimes technology is a little moody. Okay, so come on, just show up here. Because right now I'm just seeing a black phone. Let me just try this again. Sometime when you redo it, it just connects. Okay. Here we are.
There we go.
Okay. So I just want to confirm, everybody, if you're able to see my cell phone, just put in a 1 on the chat, just to confirm that you're able to see this. Yes? Just put a 1 in the chat.
Mhm.
Okay, excellent. Beautiful. Excellent. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Now, understand that what Tammy and I are sharing, it's not the end all be all, but it's a point of reference that you can start from. But I also do not want to step on the feet of our leadership. If they have something to share with you, please do take that seriously. Okay, so I'm going to share with you what we have here as far as tools that are available to you. So this is my phone. And one thing that I highly recommend is you familiarize yourself with our team website. You can notice here, activeteamgroup.com or activeteam.com. Either way, it'll take you right here. Okay. And before I go any further, if you click on the 3 bars, if you happen to be on your cell phone, okay. Now, one thing that if you go under resource, there is a document directory over here. This is really, really important. If you click on documents, it will take you to a Dropbox with a whole bunch of subdirectory. Now, in this case, let's say you have some people in Canada or in the United States. Then you take advantage of this directory because everything is in there. If you happen to be having some people in Asia or in Africa, there's a lot of information here for you to take advantage of. So let's go to Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's select English because keep in mind in French, we have Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Gabon, Guinea. Now, they're not all open markets. The official market that's open happens to be Côte d'Ivoire, but there's also business happening in Guinea and there's also different markets. So I just wanted to put that aside, just a note on the French environment for a moment. Now, going back to the English, I added the Kenya subdirectory over here. And the reason why is many of you are probably going to want to present, right, with the shillings. So what happens here is the presentation is right over here. And you can see the PowerPoint. I'm just going to bring it up very quickly. Okay, I was looking at it today. So let me go back to the original page. Okay. Sorry about that.
And we highly recommend you start reading the script and learn how to present, because when you're out prospecting, you'll have some knowledge under your belt to be able to share with people. And of course, eventually you want to be presenting in front of the room.
Yes. So you can see here, I'm going through the slides very quickly. And the reason is I just want to point out the fact that we have exactly the same presentation format that it is in the United States, Canada, Ghana, Nigeria, and different markets around the world. We're all adopted the same presentation format so we can be consistent and congruent. And you'll notice over here that when we get to the only difference is you will actually see the currency of the actual country where you're presenting. Okay. That's really all there is to it that's different. But Tammy talked about this file over here, right? This is the actual script. Learn the script. And if you learn the script, then you'll be able to add your own words as you get more experience. And I'm telling you, your presentation format and professionalism will increase significantly instead of just wing it. One thing that Dr. Albert mentioned earlier, make sure that when you talk about our product technology, that you don't make stuff up. Very important. We don't have to, because what we have is so amazing. So you don't want to make stuff up and exaggerate things. This is really, really important network marketing. Especially now, because network marketing right now, it's on the rise and there's a lot of officials that are watching and paying attention. Very, very important. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay. So going back to the tools. So understand that I just wanted to point out to the fact that you have this directory that you can access right from the website. Okay. Now, if you're curious a little bit about us, everything that Tammy and I have been teaching when it comes to her story, this book can be downloaded. I don't recommend to download the hard copy because it's more expensive, but if just get the soft copy, the electronic version from Amazon, and you're going to learn a lot from our own journey. Okay. Again, it's just food for thought. Now, there's a lot of information you can go through, but I don't want to spend time there. I just want to focus on this particular button over here. Okay. What I recommend you click on that. And then from there, it's going to prompt you for your email. Once you put your email, Okay. Then what is going to happen, it's going to generally ask you to open the board. If you don't have it, it's going to take you to either Google Play or the Apple Store. This is a free app. You don't have to pay for this. Then you download. And once you download it, it's going to ask you a few questions. In other words, the first question that asks you, I think, is what are you using this for? How many people do you have? Are you a part of a team, or do you have a team? Just say that you're part of a team. If you're just starting, if you have an organization already, just simply say that I have my own team, whatever. It just wants to know who you are and the kind of usage you're going to be using with the app. Okay. And it's going to ask you to create an account with your first email. I may not do this in the right order, but it'll make sense when you go there. Put your email, you create a password. Once it's done, that's when the questions are there. Once you've asked a question, then at this point, it will take you to the actual board. Okay. Right over here. In fact, you'll see this, and you'll see this active team group board over here. I have other boards over here that I'm consulting with. And in fact, Jeff is doing a great job with this board. The fact here is when you go to the active team, we are maintaining 3 languages. Okay. So we have the French, we have the Spanish, and we have the English. Okay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but this is kind of like a dictionary. Some people may say it looks a little bit overwhelming, but think of a dictionary. A dictionary, you don't look at it when you open the page. It's, my God, there's so many words. It's overwhelming. No, there's an index, right? You're looking for a specific word, for a specific definition and a specific spelling. That's what you're going to do. But this is kind of the same concept. So what we recommend, if someone is brand new starting this business, fresh off the press, the very first thing that you want to do is onboarding. Okay. And I want to thank Jeffrey, for recommending some of the structure that he has, because I really find that it makes it easier for the brand new person. Now, when you go on the first step, just go through the process, right? Dr. Albert created a wonderful training on reaching your core rank, reaching the bronze. And the training that we did here, we simply used his idea and we put it in own words, but exactly the concept that Dr. Albert that you heard earlier sharing. Okay. And it's a concept of how to maintain a bronze associate, and not only to maintain it, but duplicate it within your organization. So there is a wealth of information over here. There is references. There's a really interesting kit here that most of you are not even aware of. And it looks very professional. So if you want someone that says, what is this company all about? Well, look at this. Right? You have these documents over here, the details on Max, the details on the difference we are, and then it talks about the glutathione, the ribosine, the peripheral products, and so forth. So what's really interesting here is you can turn around, you can choose to share. Now, understand, if you have different kind of phones, you'll have a different icon over here, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, regardless of the type of phone you have. And then you click on the icon over here, and then you can share it. For example, if I click on Max Ghana Leadership right over here, they're going to receive this document. If you happen to have a prospect or anybody that you're dealing with, you're right, just go to WhatsApp and then select whoever it is that you want to send it to. You understand, I don't have to teach that. You guys are all millennials, so you know what's going on. So the fact here is that you can share this information, but also help a brand new person educating themselves. And then there's another step over here that's important, is the daily method of operations. We did a training on that. This is so important to have key steps that you should be doing on a daily basis. Right? So again, I'm going to leave that for you to discover. If you have any problems or any challenges to access these tools, get back with the person that introduced you to the business. If they're as new as you are, make sure you go all the way up the chain and get your information, get into support calls and training calls, so you're never left alone figuring out what's going on and being stuck. That's the last thing I want to do. The last thing I want to share with you here. Now, keep in mind that there's a lot of other information here you can click through. All you need to do is click read, and then you'll figure out what's going on. The reason why I like the board app is it's very data friendly. In other words, you not constantly have to refill your data when you go on a website where you constantly drain your data because you have to download all these images. What I like about this board is once you have it uploaded, all it is are buttons and links to a reference or a document that you need to build your business very quickly. You don't have to search for it or ask your upline for it or ask the company for it. It's all here. And if something is not here that you want, you let us know, you let your leader know, and we'll make sure that it's added. Now, the last point I want to talk about here is the Kenya launch. Okay. There's a lot of good information here. For example, we have the Kenya events that are taking place, right? You can venture into that. One thing that's important is Kenya order and payment details, right? So this is important, extremely important. So for example, how to pay. And we have the account for the M-Pesa over here. Another thing that's important is an email template to move an associate to Kenya, right? Many of you have sponsored associates, maybe in different countries that we're operating on, and now they're either moving in Kenya, or obviously Max is open in Kenya. You want to make sure that their ID number is transferred. So there's a process here and a procedure for you to follow. What's really important here, and that is just recent, we got a lot of great information over here. And also, let me just kind of scroll in a little bit here. Let's see. This was just added recently over here. I was looking for, this is new, huh? It's the first time I'm seeing that. Very cool. Okay.
It's a courier.
The courier details.
Yeah, the courier detail. So anything that you're looking for to get your business off the ground is in this folder for Max Kenya. And there's, if you go to the, you can go ahead and look at this if you're not directly in Nairobi, where you can go and get the product access. Go to the sheet and you can follow through the process. The support is incredible with the Kenya ambassadors, and ambassadors are the customer service that are going to be supporting you. And so you got the payment, you got the office there. The office information is right there. So your contact, you got the email and the WhatsApp number for you to contact the office directly. And
here's something that's really important, right? I remember when we were in Kenya, Tammy and I had no idea, the process. We're used to kind of do everything online. And it was so simple. Oh, yeah. And Tammy will kind of walk you, we'll finish with that, is the process of enrolling someone, right? Yeah. So you make sure that they enrolled, you pick a package, there's no payment at the time. You just do it online. You pick a package and they will expect the payment, of course. But when you go to the process of enrolling and get an ID, there's no payment done. But then what's very important, make sure that you add this to your WhatsApp contact. Okay. Really, really important. Because once you have created the ID with your associate, then you will specify the ID, the name, the address, the phone number for delivery if that's the case. But many often people will pick up at the office, and you simply send the money to M-Pesa. This is so convenient. Within minutes, we sponsored someone while we were in Kenya. It was a person that we met at the gym. It was a trainer, John, and wonderful, wonderful man. And he's already started sponsoring people on his own because we walked him through the process, and he's not depending on Tammy or I to be able to enroll someone. So make sure that you walk people through the process on how to go about doing things. Okay. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate. But there's so much training over here. There's one more thing I want to share with you very quickly. And I added this because some people were saying, I want to understand the compensation plan. There's some folks that are very, very keen and wanted to understand the mechanic, because if you understand the mechanic, what's underneath the hood, a matter of speaking, it's easier to share the vision with someone else. So let me share with you some of the things that you can have access to. If you go under team, message, and training, and you go under training over here, okay, right over here. I know it's buried, and there's a reason for that. If you go under compensation plan, there are segments of the compensation plan and also the training here that I was telling you about on reaching your core rank with Max International. But these are some are 2 minutes, some are 3 minutes. This one was done a little while back. Okay. Well, we have a different philosophy in how we build it, but the fact is it will explain to you the right side, the left side. It explains to you the ranks when you reach bronze and silvers, and it explains to you the matching checks and everything else. There's a lot of information there. And something that's also important is to learn how to do a presentation, right? And there's some videos you can listen to so you can have an idea of how to present the opportunity with the right wording. And we also have the script, as I shared with you, in the Kenya directory, the Ghana directory, the Nigerian directory, the Canada, USA directory. We all have a script that we follow. So we have a backup plan. Let me rephrase that. So we have a foundation on sharing the information. And once you become more and more experienced in sharing the information, that's when your style and personality comes through. I remember when we were building in Ghana years ago, And we went at the first time and we showed up the next year and we saw the elegant way of how the Ghanaian leaders were presenting. It was memorable.
You know what was interesting is every single time we went back to Ghana, there was always new presenters. And this is a really important message for all of you, is to groom your associates to become presenters as quick as possible. And you want your people to be autonomous. You want to make sure that that obviously they're going to reach out to you for guidance, but not be dependent on you for all the little things. And that's one thing that Chris and we do really well, is we teach people how to fish and not feed them for a day.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
This is something that's very important. And that's the kind of mentoring that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Every people, let me rephrase that. A lot of people that we have mentored with Max International, regardless of what country they live in, they happen to have reached some of the top rank in the world. And the reason is because the way we teach is we breed leadership. It's important that you don't always enable your downline by always doing everything for them. Mm-hmm. If you do that, you are cutting their wings. It's like raising a child, and the child never has to go to work. They never have to do chores. There is never responsibilities. And now they get into adult age. What do you think is going to happen? Complacent, entitled. What have you done for me lately? And it's the same concept when you build an organization. You want to breed leaders. And sometimes they have to go through the challenges. And then I'm not saying to leave it in a mess if they're, if there's some challenges, you support them, you help them. But instead of always sending them the information, tell them, hey, download the board. And if you do that, maybe after the 5th time, they will actually take the time to download the board. And they say, oh my God, that's so easy. And what you just created? Independency. Yeah. And if you don't do that, you're constantly creating dependency. And that is the last thing you want to do as a leader. And if you want to earn a massive, you want to be a millionaire in this business, you want to create independency or even interdependent, which are leaders that they are independent, but they understand they achieve more by working as a team. As you know, there's unity and prosperity, or there's prosperity and unity. Either way that works. Very, very important. So we want to end this call very quickly on the process here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to share with you is there are many great, phenomenal leaders that are just raising the bar with their YouTube channels. Make sure you subscribe to their channels and watch the content that they put in. I know we have one. It's activeteamtraining.com. And there are hundreds and hundreds of content and videos there. But there's other leaders. I don't know if Java is here today. I know Webmaster is here. There are some amazing YouTube channels with great content, with beautiful editing, beautiful music, and well done. I'm telling you, the bar is raising with the way the information is delivered from the field point of view. So make sure that you get plugged in and don't stay secluded, isolated into one little area, not knowing what's happening. You got to be connected to the ecosystem of Max International. Connect with the leadership. Start with ours and make sure you're connected with your own leadership to make sure that you're always in a position to be fed and to be nurtured in a way that you can grow and build your business. I am not kidding. Those of you that follows our guidelines will hit the diamond and above. Even through the tough times. Yes, there might be a period where things are a little bit slow. That's what we call consolidation period. We're consolidating, we're upgrading, we're transforming, we're transcending. And I'm telling you, momentum will hit again. I'm telling you, I've seen the cycle over and over and over. Do not be delusioned by the inflation and the problems that the world is sharing. Don't listen to that and don't waste your time following that. You create your own destiny. And this is what Tammy and I do. And that's what we want for you. So make sure that you're connected to relevant YouTube channels. And very, very important is listen to people presenting the PowerPoint presentation. Watch the videos just by going to the board and some of your leaders' YouTube channels. Listen and watch the presenters share the information. Attend the presentation. Have the script with you while the presentation is taking place. Become the presenter in your mind. And then when you have this really wrapped up in your pinky finger that you can actually recite the presentation without even looking at the slide, that's when your income will get to the bronze, to the silvers, to the golds, to the platinum, diamond, above, and then you can join the wonderful diamond retreats that Max is hosting and the exotic trips that Max is taking place around the world.
I remember when we were new and presenting, we'd record ourselves and we'd go back and we'd watch it. And we found that we grew a lot quicker in presenting by doing this. So if you're a person who's pretty shy and you want to learn to present, start doing stuff like that, share it with your sponsor, and then start asking to be part of some of the presentations that are coming up. So slowly get yourself into doing portions of the presentation, and you'll see you will grow in such a big way. One of the greatest gifts of our profession is personal development.
Mm-hmm.
People who stay the course, people who learn, but not just learn and stick the notepad in your drawer. Learn something, go apply it. Learn something else, go apply it. And then you get better and better and better. And next thing you know, you're hitting your core rank. Next thing you know, you're teaching other people to hit their core rank. And you're going up in your ranks because you're helping other people to do the same thing. So stick with it. If I can give you any advice, create a 2 to 5 year plan. That's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We created a 2 to 5 year plan. We needed to stay focused because we had a big goal. We had some intermediate goals. We had some new goals that we wanted to hit core rank. And then we went all the way up to Crown Diamond by sticking to that.
I totally agree.
And you can do the same thing.
Now, Tammy, I know I want to have just a few more speakers to share, but just before we do that, do you think you want to share a little bit briefly on how to join?
Sure. I don't think we can go through the process.
No, but just to go through the process.
You an idea.
Just to initiate.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the screen. Okay.
So when you click on join,
okay.
First of all, make sure when you give anybody your website that they go to max.com, www.max.com / and your ID number has to be there.
So let's put.
Okay, they need your ID number.
Okay, so I'll just put one right now that I know very well, 10441. Okay. Just so this it's identified. See, it's recognizing who the person is. Okay.
So let's say I'm signing up. I'm new and I'm in Kenya and I'm on Chris's website. So when I click on join,
do you want to select Kenya?
Yes. Right. Under Ivory Coast. Yeah. Okay. So Kenya, English. There you go. Now you're all set up. So you click on join, choose how to join, and then associate right here. I believe in Kenya, most people are focused on signing people up as associates.
Mm-hmm.
They might use their products to sell just to get their investment back, to create an interest for them to want to be an associate. So you can see the different choices of packages here.
So for example, if we want to have the Max Power Personal Pack, that would be this one over here, which is all longevity, which is what we recommend at the moment, right? So you click on add. And you'll notice over here that it's being added to the process, right?
Yeah, continue to check out.
Okay.
All right, so you follow through the information below. You put all the information in that is necessary here.
Okay, so we put the details that are, I mean, it's just common sense. Many of you have filled forms before. There's no difference here.
Yeah,
right?
It's payment cash. You're going to use the M-Pesa. And then you see the sponsor. And if they don't see that, then it's going to ask them who their sponsor is. So make sure that your prospects have your ID number because they have to put it there.
Right.
All right. And then from there, you make sure that you agree to the information.
You select all of that.
Yeah. And then you would go through the next step. It'll show you your order placed, select shipping option. If it's a will call, yeah, actually, when you go through the next process, which it won't let you go through because we didn't fill it out, then it's going to ask you for the shipping info. If will call anybody who's picking the product up at the office, they can do that. Or if a shipping company is going to be picking up the product at the office and to be delivering
Yeah.
it.
So basically the only thing
the
here,
instruction is in the boards.
once you fill all that in and you go to the next page, that's when you're going to select will call. Will call means that they're not going to ship anything. It's going to give you, it's going to go through the process of the enrollment with the packages. And let's say, for example, they want to change package when they're ready. That's not a problem, right? And then from there, very simple, you go back to, and let me just go back to the point just to have a reference, to have a full circle. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the phone. Okay. So over here, you would select, for example, Kenya, and you would go back to Kenya order payment details and how to pay. Okay. So now you have the ID number. So that's when you would specify the ID of the person, the name of the person, the address that was specified in the application, and you pay by M-Pesa, right? You would select the Max Health and Beauty. And then from there, that's the account number. Okay. And also just food for thought that I wanted to mention. If you happen to be in Uganda or Rwanda or any of the countries, the neighborly countries around, one thing that you can do is there is an account which is Ecobank. Okay. So what's going to happen? You go through the same process, just like you did with what we shared with you earlier. Obviously, you'd finish the application, and then you would select you would do the payment and make a deposit into the account specified with Ecobank. That's it. You would send the email, the details, the payment was done through Ecobank. Go through the Kenya details on payments. It's all there. And then you connect with WhatsApp. Make sure then you have someone that is there to either pick up the package or ship the package. And I mean, many associates are doing this. So Tammy and I do not micromanage. You can figure this out with your leadership. So overall, this is what we wanted to share with you. Is there anything, Tammy, you want to add as we end? Because I want to have a few of the leaders to share that just came in.
Yeah, once the process is done, just make sure you screenshot the information. And if you're doing it for somebody else, I like to create a folder where I have all my personal associates, their orders placed, make sure that everybody has, I have their information just in case. And so these are things that we do. And once they're in the system, we create our phone contact, make sure I always put their max ID number in on my phone contacts with their information, their number and their email. I always put their ID number in there in case you have to go and search. It's just an easy process. We try to keep things simple and clear. Clarity is everything.
Wonderful. So at this point, I'd like to turn over to two other leaders as we end this session here. There's a Diamond Associate by the name of Daya Bali. I am so impressed with his leadership and the way he's organized. We had an opportunity to meet while we were in Ghana just after 2.5 years of not traveling the world. And Daya Bali, I really appreciate you, Diamond Associate. Do you mind sharing just a few minutes about yourself and your view with Max International? Please go ahead.
Okay, so thank you very much for the opportunity and then for the training. I know amazing things are going to happen in Kenya. Looking at the people, I know Max is going to be a great opportunity for the people to build extra income, and then also the products are going to do amazing things there. My name is Bali. I've been with Max since 2016, beginning of 2016. That was when. All right, so. It made sense to me because I'd always been looking for a way to build to residual income. I was looking for something that would help me build something that I didn't need to be active there, but still make money from it. And when I went for the presentation, sat through the presentation, and they talked about the incomes, it made sense to me. So it's been over 6 years, and it's been an amazing, amazing journey because I tell people that everything I know now, from how to talk, how to present, how to train, how to coach, how to sell, how to market, everything I know now, I learned within the past 6 years because I came in as a novice, never done any business before, young guy, partying, the hell. So it's everything I know now, I learned through this business. The two things I want to share with everyone who is on the call is that, first of all, I believe that the most important thing that network marketing helps us to do is competence. It's one of the industries that's help people become competent without the whole fees associated with it, and then also without the whole tussle. Because for most industries, when people have a working system, they're not ready to teach you, because when they teach you, it becomes available to everyone else. So joining this industry, what I've realized is that the competence in this system, what really works, is taught to you so that you can learn and then succeed. And talking about competence, I believe that the difference between impossible, there's something being impossible to do, and there's something being easy to do, is competence. Because right now, if I give you an aeroplane, or I give you a manual car to drive, let's say a Corvette, which is manual to drive, you might not know how to drive a manual car. So you might say, it's impossible, I can't drive it. But if I took you through the dynamics of it, took you through the mechanics of it, how the car works, and then how to drive it, and then you went through a whole practice session of doing it over and over again, it gets to the point where you know how to do it. And then the more you do it, it becomes second nature to you, it becomes a part of you. So you will do it even with your eyes closed. I know those of us who have driven cars, there are points where you drive from a point to a point, and then you realize like you were not actively or consciously aware you were even driving. That's what I'm talking about. What network marketing does for you is, first of all, it helps you with the core skills, the things, the skills, and then the strategies and the knowledge and mindset that will help you become successful. It helps those things become a part of you, so that it's not just network marketing. Any business venture or any venture you get into, you are going to be successful. So if you are here today, if you are with us, if you are building, what you need to look for is the competencies, the things, the skill sets, the mindset, and then commit to those things. When you commit to those things and then you learn and do it enough, and it becomes a part of you, no matter what happens, no matter the curve of the market we are in, no matter whether we are in a down market or we are in a bull market, so whatever is happening, because you have the competencies, you would understand the systems and you will make it work for yourself. And the last thing I'll talk about is that when I joined, I had this philosophy in mind, and it's one of the reasons why I'm still here. So someone told me that, look, if you are building this business, instead of looking for just sign-ups and looking for associates and looking for ranks, tell yourself that you are going to talk to 1,000 people, okay? You were given a tax. The compensation plan didn't say, oh, get 60,000 volumes and become a diamond, or get 100,000, become a... No. The compensation plan said, look, this is a company that has the products that work. All you have to do is talk to 1,000 people. Make sure they understand what the product does. Make sure they understand how the business can help them. Whether they say yes or no, you are going to become successful. By the time you talk to the 1,000th person, we are going to crown you as a crown diamond, or we are going to give you all the rewards of a crown diamond. So now, when you talk to 999 people and they all say no, all you need to do is talk to the 1,000th person, and then you become a crown diamond. That's the qualification. So when I started seeing it that way, when I was talking to people, and in the beginning, I was getting a lot of rejection, like almost everyone who I spoke to. I remember in my first 3 weeks, I'd spoken to about 300 people in my circle, and almost everyone said no. And it didn't really bother me. I was excited about it because my scale of but the scale I was working with wasn't whether they say yes or no. It was the number of people I exposed to the opportunity. I was working with 1,000 people. All I needed to do was expose 1,000 people doing the right thing, like making sure they understand what I'm doing. And if I do it right and they get the principle and they are the right people and they join, the company will pay me for it. But that's not my goal. My goal is to do what? 1,000 and get to the crown diamond. So when people were telling me no, I was actually excited, because if you have this mindset and you talk to, let's say, 550 people, instead of being depressed and letting the rejection get to you because you spoke to 550 people and they all said no, you'll be excited, because that means that you don't have 1,000 people to talk to. You have 450 people to now talk to get to your targets. So it always excited me. And no matter the rejection, no matter the number of people who left my team, no matter the cycle my business was in, I was still excited. And it also excited me because it put me in a position to not just look at my circle, because I needed to talk to 1,000 people, and my circle was, I didn't have 1,000 people in my circle. So now I was excited and I was motivated to look outside my circle, to now start using social media to prospect, find people. So if you are on this call, what I'm saying is, instead of just looking at how many people can I sign, like who is coming to join my team, how many volunteers, just have the mindset that everyone who is joining your team, the qualification for getting to where they want to get to is to talk to 1,000 people. And I believe if that's the the mindset they have, the energy with the motivation with which they will talk to new people is going to be different from just telling them, oh, when you sign 2 people, you're a senior associate. When you sign 10 people, you are this. With that, they take in the negativity and the rejection more. But when they have a big target and they are not just looking at what they are getting, but they are estimating correctly the number of people they have to talk to, I promise you the results will help them, and then you also being in a position to guide them better. So thank you very much, Chris. I'm so excited when I'm, sharing my small piece of knowledge and experience I've picked up from this business. I'll hand over back to you, Chris and Tammy, so that you take it over from here.
Thank you. Dayabali. Very, very appreciated, and appreciate your wisdom. A lot of great words. Listen, everybody, this comes to an end to our session. The call is being recorded. It's also live on Active Team Group page, the Active Team Group page. And at the end of the day, folks, what's really important is the culture and the communications, the tools to make sure that people are system dependent and not people dependent, and making sure that everybody understands the enrollment process. Please make sure that your organization, that your downline are aware and able to enroll people by themselves and not always counting on you to do the work. Otherwise, you'll be working for the rest of your life. So we breed leadership. We love you guys. We really appreciate you. And thank you so much for attending today. And pay attention to all the events. I know Anne is working very hard right now as we speak in Kenya in sharing information. And if any one of you in Ghana want to learn exactly the process, the costs to be able to go to Kenya very effectively, with very efficient when it comes to costs, please do let us know. We have the whole thing laid out, and we can help you achieve your goals in helping you build the Kenya market as you are building your home market here in Ghana. So everybody have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your afternoon or evening or afternoon, depending on where you are located. And again, thank you for attending. Tammy and I love you guys, and we appreciate you.